there's another point. I think last year you had this huge new financing pact,
Yes.
financial architecture that was organized by the French President Macron in Paris. I think it was in June last year. I remember, if I'm not wrong, either it was the Mia Motley, the Barbados Prime Minister, or I think it was one of the African leaders. It would have been even President Ruto.
Yes.
They mentioned something about the Marshall Plan in post-war Europe and the fact that Marshall Plan recipients, they received a debt jubilee of, I think, about 10 years. And I think the argument that was made at the summit was also like, because of the climate shocks, and this is something that, of course, you mentioned rightly at the beginning, countries in the global south are suffering much more.
Yes.
Exactly. And they're suffering for something they played a very little role in causing.
Yes.
And so the argument was, because of the climate emergency at the moment, maybe let's give the global south countries also a debt jubilee of 10 years. The same way Western Europe countries that were devastated by World War II were also given a little bit of a leeway, even in the Marshall Plan, so that they had 10 years to organize themselves. And after that 10-year period, essentially what you had were economic miracles. Economic miracle in Germany, 1954 onwards, in Belgium, in the Netherlands, and in many other Western Europe countries. Going with the idea of the debt jubilee, do you think it's something that is a good thing when leaders in the global south are arguing for it? Or do you think it's also something that is not genuine?
Yes, I remember actually President Ruto was the one who was on the forefront, and he has been doing very well in terms of carrying the whole Africa by his shoulders. Yes, he was saying that, like in the Kenya, he would say we are not asking you to forgive our debt. All we are asking is that currently in Kenya, he would say, if I quote him, he would say currently in Kenya, I'm paying 1.2 trillion to in terms of debt repayment, debt service. So if the payment can be suspended for 5 years, so that this 1.2 trillion, I can channel it to development activities in Kenya, do infrastructure, build bridges, ports, and all that, including dams. Then in the next 5 years, I will have more paying power, and I will be able to start paying what I had not paid for the last 5 years during this some sort of a moratorium. Whether it's a good thing or not, I would say...
Well, maybe not good thing,
yes,
but is it feasible? Maybe that might be a much better term.
I would say it is feasible. It is feasible. It is possible. But the question is, would it work?
Will it work?
Would it work? I don't think so.
And will there also be like the political will, let's say, from the West, for instance, to say, okay, let's do that?